up to the government, calling for all grades to have cohorts of 15. That's Cynthia Mulligan reporting from Toronto. Premier Ford responded by saying he will always take the advice of world-class pediatricians and infectious disease experts.
Vito Rizzuto was the head of the retailers have been he was a man with many enemies in recent months, going bankrupt,
leaving many customers with unused gift cards. CDS is finding out your options going forward. Speaking with the Retail Council of Canada and Better Business Bureau, unfortunately, there is very little a consumer can do. A consumer becomes a creditor. Technically, they can make a claim, but practically, this would be difficult.
Because the only thing you're allowed to use it on is stuff in the store.
Landscape to make a comeback.
Have more respect for the crime, no God, best people get, cause the blast you with a man like that. She was fucked up, how niggas wanna head over baby, it's a shame, cause I love their mind, insane like cheap, but there is a quite like me, one of the kind, on my grind, fuck yeah, I'm a little purchased on a credit card. It may be possible to ask the credit card company to reverse the charges. Mervin will kill you if you kill me, if you kiss. Paranoid, keep a 9 mil, make your blood spill. Then a pool full of blood, you're a fraud, your life's on pause. Mine, that mine is next. Only heard no yet, life dedication, Uncle Max invasion. Black Zion and Honey the Diva, plus drop.
Vito Rizzuto.
There's crack kids up front. Like, surprise. Wow, hope they kill each other. They're all getting $60. They all got this credit financing idea that somehow a crackhead is a business that must be financed. And the whole world owes it to lend, quote unquote, lend them money. Ask them where they're going to get the money from. Oh, wow. So go do I don't know and come back with money. Bam, this is they're all fucking most likely fighting. I noticed right up in the days leading up to when checks come on. All these people are lending each other stuff. They've just met each other. They smoke crack together, but they're gonna pay back cash money. No, they're gonna do, if anything, they're gonna try to say, "Oh, I gave you this token, that blast and bullshit." I keep on the sewers where it's the beginning of the sewer, like the 20s and shit, like the top. There's no. It just goes downhill. Is that Shorty? I don't know who these people are. Oh, this guy got it. Oh, I was babysitting a raccoon. Wow. Angry. And they'll be yelling about the dumbest shit. Oh, you don't respect my feelings and shit. People really throw crackheads, bro. Like nobody respects you. Oh, I lent you $11.32 and you didn't pay it back. Like, what the fuck did you expect to happen? Someone with no way of getting money, no way to, I don't know how to phrase this, they have no good way of spending money. What the fuck is this? Oh, this is for the mittens. This is for your GPS locator. I hope it's Shorty. I hope she has a heart attack. I'm not sure the fuck that is. I can recognize the voice, but I can't figure out who that is. Oh. There's a building over here with a big, huge gas supply, whatever. The pressure relief valve, all that shit. They got 3 meters, cubic feet again, from 3 different companies. I think they're fucking paranoid. I want to hear them scream and scream and scream and just stop suddenly. You're getting an E for endurance. Oh, fuck. My spleen kept almost exploding. Yeah, it's fun when you're out thinking you're going to start walking home and Mother Nature says, no, you're not. Yeah, it's short, I think. Supposedly she had somewhere to live, somewhere else. And it must have been true because she wasn't here for that much for a while. G.I. Joe, Native American hero. The fuck is it? I got all these spots that are like swelled up. Oh, I heard it. I'm gonna ignore it. Holy fuck. Wow, she's still going. That's fucked up. Yeah.
Was the head of the Montreal Mafia. He was.
I ain't fucking with no cops. They don't like.
Vito Rizzuto was the head of the Montreal Mafia. He was a man with many enemies, but Rizzuto died of natural causes.
Mafia, a secret order dedicated to Cosa Nostra, this thing of ours.
You violate what you know about this life, and you're gonna burn in hell like the saint is burning in your hands.
Ruckus. Niggas wanna hate, cause I'm getting on now. They wanna shoot me down, click, click, pow, pow. Niggas wanna hate, cause I'm getting on now. They wanna shoot me down, click, click, pow, pow. Niggas wanna hate, cause I'm getting on now. Cause I'm getting on now, niggas wanna hate. Cause I'm getting on now, they wanna shoot me down. Click, click, bow, bow. Had more respect for the crack, not rappers. People forget, cause they blast you with a Mac, and that's that. It's fucked up how niggas want my head over fame. It's a shame, cause I love their minds. Insane like G, but not quite like me. One of a kind on my grind. Fuck yeah, I'm a hood hopper. I'm well known all over. My niggas is connected with AJ. Every day's payday. Mervin will kill you if you kill me and burn your kids. Paranoid, keep a 9 mil, make your guts spill. Lay there in a pool full of blood, you're a fraud, your life's on pause. Mine, that mine is next. Don't ain't heard none yet. Life dedication, Malcolm X invasion. Black Zion and Honey's a diva. Plus Dragon, the only one there when I touch my first million. Fuck your reasons, you don't listen. Be strong, my career is in God's hand, not mine, and definitely not yours. We're hard to the core, dear Lord. We've been here before. Mission impossible, survive death more than 20 times. And talk crimes, you're worse than D.I.G. ready to die. Thug like Part 50 before he got shot. Wait for them shots. Ain't afraid of nothing. Listen, little bitch, come get it. I can't be a conscious rapper. All my life been a gangster, monster, fucking monster. Fuck you haters. Niggas wanna hate, cause I'm getting on now. Niggas wanna hate, cause I'm getting on now. Niggas wanna hate, cause I'm getting on now. They wanna shoot me down, click, click, pow, pow. Niggas wanna hate, cause I'm getting on now. They wanna shoot me down, click, click, pow, pow. Niggas wanna hate, cause I'm getting on now. They wanna shoot me down, click, click, pow, pow. Niggas wanna hate, cause I'm getting on now. They wanna shoot me down, click, click, pow, pow. Niggas wanna hate, cause I'm getting on now. They wanna shoot me down, click, click, pow, pow. Niggas wanna hate, cause I'm getting on now. Niggas wanna hate, cause I'm getting on now. You can't shoot me down. No.
I'll tell people about fucking microchip. Don't ever tell anyone how much you microchip.
10 guns before.
They didn't notice, they don't need to know.
Bobby Smurder, 20 guns. Yeah. To get there who the real niggas is. Shit is real bitch ass niggas.
The thing is, my hand goes.
Stop throwing fucking bullshit online. Come in real life. You waiting.
Not even close.
A little bit less. Try to dumb it down for these niggas and be conscious. But this is real life shit. You gotta talk about it, nigga. Yeah. Ruckus. RapTillDeathRecords.com. Malcolm X video will be on much.
It is shorty. Good. She's mad. Good. She flipped out today because I was in the coffee shop getting a coffee. That she never goes. She's never gone in there before. Ever. She's never gone in there before. Her name's obviously not Shorty. I have no idea what it is. I don't know her, as I keep telling her. I don't know who the fuck she is. I'm Shorty. Give a fuck. What the fuck's that mean? Oh, I'm the original Shorty. You can't be. The SBS 12 gauge is way older than you are. And she's looking at me all sideways because she can't figure out how to answer that because she's old as fuck and crackheads aren't supposed to get old as fuck. She's ugly. Pretending to be pretty. You know what I mean? Oh, is that arrow? Arrow, you have a megaphone? Oh, my fuck. Yeah, I got sort of followed by a raccoon. That's cool. Then I found a skunk several times. That's not cool. It's awesome watching a skunk in the city at night. I don't give a fuck. They never get bothered by anything or anybody ever. So they just do whatever the fuck they want. Even the raccoons are nervous getting caught. They just closed Wallace Avenue, apparently. I saw no notice, heard no notice. The signs are all set. It's not closed. All the shit they need to close it is sitting there now, staged. Closing August 7th list today. They literally dropped all the shit they must have at like midnight or something. They must have. Oh yeah, the traffic's all fucked up today. It's not that that's a huge street all by itself, but it's gonna mess it up enough to fuck everything else up. And there's not that much traffic. Honestly, what's up with these idiots? All they want to do is sit and drink and smoke rock all day. Fine. Why are you flipping out every time people don't fucking talk to you? Like, why don't you just go do that? Rock smoking, beer drinking bullshit. Leave everybody in the public alone, like the whole world. They get mad. People get fucking mad if you don't care what they're up to. They used to be, oh, I overdone. I don't give a fuck. Some fucking white guy, like, I don't know, a week or two. Oh, I got beat. Why are you talking to me? See somebody shut up so quick in their life. Next day, I know why you got beat up, stupid. Arrow. Where is he to make that echo? Oh, these are horrible. Leg ulcers and bumps and things all over my leg. See, that's not a scab. Those aren't platelets. That's yellow and clear. I don't know what that means. It's my fault. It doesn't seem everybody's slipping out about supposedly this. I don't know what date they started these syrup things on. Oh, it should be the 1st or the 31st, and but every time I read something about it, the date they give is different. They're supposedly on their last or second last deposits, depending on how many they got already. The fuck is that? Oh, train. So the government's trying to come up with a new EI that isn't EI. In the meantime, everyone's gonna start selling drugs and stealing shit. How much?
News that will be on Vivo, be everywhere in the fucking world, nigga. Either you like it or not. Hate it.
Hello. This call is from the Tax Department of Canada Revenue.
Sit your little bitch ass down, nigga.
This bitch ass got ball without the AR. Vote me for mayor. Taking helicopters down with a little laser. Hand the cannon, I'm holding bigger than fucking mega. Yaga, the liquor put the shots will make you stagger. For my little brother, it's like he loves my partners. Real party boy, baby, y'all watch. With this empire, it's nothing like rocks. These are enemy lines, nobody can cross it. I'm a for rappers and in a battle with four clips, triple chicks. 4 clips like a bitch's wig stick shit. Murder gang sick shit. Got me reading the words as of my victim lip syncs. Fuck. Pictures say murders. Niggas know I'm running through the streets of beef. Like the hamburger with the burner. No food surfing. Yeah, still M3G reppin'. Man, sitting in the vehicle. Lighting on people. Taking your breath possession like a reaper. Kneeling with the hammer. Call it Tim Tebow. Holding on the hammer. Call it Home Depot. Everything I'm doing is illegal. Everything I'm doing is illegal. Kneeling with the hammer. Call it Tim Tebow. Holding on the hammer. Call it Home Depot. I'm at the bar ordering a Heineken. Waiting for the scene to fall back. I was timing him. Fronting him with double set up. Check me run 9 and 10. MGK 1 point. Nigga, we some wild men. Brought together lives again. Rifles like the Irishman. Used to come with bench. Charlie was a rider man. Nigga try to end me for the money. I'm a fireman. I put my fucking flame up. Go ahead and try it then. But all me do you. You can do the field shot in Zulu.
Good morning, I'm Jared Launchbury. And I'm Josh Ritchie. Here's what's making news right now.
Prime Minister Trudeau now responding to the decision by the U.S. to impose tariffs on Canadian aluminum. Trudeau says Canada will impose countermeasures that will include dollar-for-dollar retaliatory tariffs.
More questions surrounding We Charity by the committee reviewing how it was awarded a now canceled $700 million federal grant. A global fundraising conference will be held for Beirut as Canada calls for economic and political reform in Lebanon. We're hearing from the COVID-19 Vaccine Task Force. They'll have final say about what companies the federal government will invest in. Lots of Canadian action in the NHL playoffs with 4 teams north of the border on the ice, including Calgary trying to secure a series win. More in sports at 15. Another Jobs Friday is here. July employment reports for Canada and the U.S. are coming up. We got a preview. TSX almost back to the break-even point for the year, and the Nasdaq's at another all-time high. From the 680 News Traffic Center, I'm Michael Ranger. Northbound 404, just north of Highway 7 there, currently holding traffic. They did have construction there in the 2 left lanes. They're moving it over to the 2 right lanes. So while they do this, they just have traffic stopped temporarily. I just spoke to MTO about this. So if you are one of the cars that are stopped on the North 404, again, it's just going to be a temporary thing. You should be on your way shortly. Reminder to drivers, intersection of Dundas and River Street downtown remains closed in all directions because of a train collapse that happened yesterday. Dundas is shut down from Sumac to the DVP. Your next report is at 3:11. Now let's check your forecast.
If you don't like the humidity, you are going to love today's forecast. Waking up to 18 degrees and feeling like 18 degrees. A fresh day in store, that's for sure. Sunshine through the day, the afternoon high 26, right on seasonal. Patio plants 24, and sunshine by dinner. Today's high is 26.
Ross. Another trade dispute between the Trudeau government and Trump administration. We'll have more on the response from Ottawa in just a moment. But first, we head to Richard Southern for details of Business Center.
Canada and the U.S. had agreed to lift tariffs late last year as part of the renegotiated NAFTA deal, which went into place just a couple of weeks ago. But U.S. President Trump says now he's putting back in place 10% tariffs on Canadian aluminum. He said the document to do so passed over his desk just today.
I signed it, and it imposes because the aluminum business was being decimated by Canada, very unfair to our jobs and our great aluminum workers.
At issue here is American aluminum companies. They claim that Canada has been dumping aluminum on the U.S. market amid a drop-off in demand for it. Canada contends that's not the case, that it's just storing it there. Now, in doing this, Trump has threatened to reignite a trade war. I'm Richard Southern.
Both the Prime Minister and Deputy Prime Minister responding on Twitter with threats of retaliation. Veronica Thor has more.
Justin Trudeau writing in a post, in response to the American tariffs announced today, Canada will impose countermeasures that will include dollar-for-dollar retaliatory tariffs. We will always stand up for our aluminum workers. We did so in 2018, and we will stand up for them again now. Chrystia Freeland echoing Trudeau's sentiments, saying Canada will always stand strong and defend our aluminum workers and our aluminum industry. In a longer statement included in her tweet, she adds, the August 6th announcement by the United States to impose tariffs on certain Canadian aluminum products, citing national security concerns, is unwarranted and unacceptable. Canadian aluminum does not undermine U.S. national security. I'm Veronica Thor.
Freeland is expected to hold a news conference this morning in Toronto to address the tariffs. You're listening to All News Radio. House of Commons committee probing the government's deal with We Charity is diving deeper into the organization itself as it hears from a watchdog group. Charity Intelligence Canada has addressed some of the red flags it raised around We earlier this year. New Democrat Peter Julian says that raises new questions about why the Trudeau Liberals asked We to run a student volunteer program.
Absolutely no due diligence has been identified in terms of all of the myriad problems, things that should have been a red flag and things that for any other charity in the country would have meant that there was absolutely no possibility of them being considered for funding.
Early last month, the We backed out of running the Canada Student Service Grant over a controversy around its ties to Prime Minister Trudeau and members of his family, who've received speaking fees from the group totaling more than $500,000. President Emmanuel Macron has announced he will host a global fundraising conference for Lebanon. Macron walked the devastated neighborhoods of Beirut on Thursday and got a look at the widespread destruction following Tuesday afternoon's explosion in the port. He says France will organize a conference with European, North American, Middle Eastern, and other donors to raise money for food, medicine, housing, and other urgent aid.
This is the tension, and the people are very nervous against the politicians. So at the same time, we build this emergency aid. We need a new political initiative, and I'm here to bring help, to coordinate, to launch a European and international initiative to bring money and help directly to people.
Canada is sending $1.5 million in immediate aid to the Lebanese Red Cross. International Development Minister Karina Gould has also emphasized the need for economic and political reform in the country.
We know that there is the emergency and the urgent response that's needed right now in Lebanon, but we also know that this is going to be a long-term reconstruction effort. And I want to assure Canadians, Lebanese Canadians, as well as the people of Lebanon, that Canada will continue to be there for the long term.
The Canadian Embassy will reopen Monday in Beirut to begin offering consular assistance to Canadians. The federal government won't tolerate so-called foreign actors, the public safety minister saying that following allegations that Saudi Arabia's crown prince sent a hit squad to Toronto to kill a Canadian resident and former Saudi spy. Bill Blair adding Canadian border agents thwarted the plot when the would-be assassins arrived in Toronto in 2018. The allegations are contained in a U.S. lawsuit with the former top Saudi spy accusing the crown prince of wanting him dead because he knows too much. You're listening to All News Radio at 7 minutes past the hour. A change coming at the top of provincial politics in Nova Scotia. Chris Leff reports from Halifax. Premier Stephen McNeil says after 17 years, it's time to do something else. When asked why he was stepping down now, he said he had planned to do it sooner.
I had looked at doing it earlier this year. Of course, COVID hit. And then I recommitted to the job and my purpose here. And I'm feeling comfortable where we are. And the party will need time and to get someone ready for the next election. So this seemed to be the appropriate time to do it.
McNeil says he considers his key accomplishments to include promoting growth of the private sector and keeping a handle on the cost of public sector wages. McNeil was first elected premier in 2013 and later re-elected in 2017. He says he will stay on until the Liberal Party chooses a new leader. I'm Chris Leff.
The COVID-19 vaccine task force is advising the feds on where to spend when it comes to potential COVID-19 vaccines. Erica Natividad is finding out how they make their decisions.
Dr. Joanna Langley is a professor of pediatrics and community health and epidemiology at
at Dalhousie. She is also co-chair of the task force. On Wednesday, government officials announced they had reached deals with international pharmaceutical companies Pfizer and Moderna to secure millions of doses of their COVID-19 vaccine candidates. They made that decision based on the advice of the task force.
We made recommendations to the government on a suite of vaccines that we would recommend they pursue to purchase.
At least one Canadian company, Providence Therapeutics, says its vaccine candidate uses the same technology as both Pfizer and Moderna's. The company's CEO says their candidate is just as good, if not better, but they have yet to receive federal funding to move forward to human trials.
We have worked through those beginning in June through July to evaluate each proposal on its scientific and technical merit.
She says the goal is to have a vaccine ready for delivery by the first quarter of next year. In Toronto, Erica Natividad, City News.
The head of the World Health Organization says he hopes the United States leadership will reconsider its departure from the UN Health Agency because COVID-19 can't be defeated in a, quote, divided world.
We need a united world, and a united world needs cooperation and solidarity among its major powers.
U.S. President Trump has repeatedly accused WHO of botching its response to the virus and said it colluded with China in the pandemic's early stages to cover up the extent of the outbreak. The WHO has denied that and recently started a probe into the global response